Welcome back, everybody, to the Unheard Digital Summit. This is your host, Austin Turner. Now, I have a very special guest with me today. The Unheard Digital Summit, our goal is to stand in solidarity, unite as a community, and help reopen youth sports. No better person to join the conversation than someone directly impacted with the closures of youth sports. My guest today, Noelle Mingo. Hello, Noelle. Welcome to the conversation. Thank you for joining us.
Hi, glad to be here. I'm Noelle.
Excellent.
I'm Noelle Mingo. I am the oldest of 5 girls. I play soccer, and I'm a center back and sometimes center mid. I'm going into my sophomore year, so 10th grade this year.
Nice. So Noelle Mingo, soccer player, student. There's a couple different areas that you're being impacted with COVID-19. First and foremost, how is it impacting you, right? You're now at home. You don't have the capabilities to be in front of your team, your classmates. You're stuck with your 4 sisters, your mom, your dad. How is this impacting you?
Academically, it was challenging. It was like new and foreign. I didn't really know what I was doing. Doing classes over Zoom, there was a lot of vagueness and gray area with teachers and assignments, so that was definitely a challenge. My team, there wasn't a lot of interaction over Zoom. When we did, it was just to see where everybody was at with their training and stuff. I did separate programs too without my team, but other than that, I've trained with my sisters, which wasn't very successful since we all argued most of the time. But I've tried to do everything I can.
Sure, as sisters do as far as arguments are concerned. I know I have a younger sister who is in the same boat as you as well in regards to learning and training wise. Let's focus a little bit on the school portion of this, right? You mentioned that switching to this digital learning style was a challenge for you. Let's talk a little bit about what those challenges were. Did you feel like you were learning? Did you feel like you were able to retain the information? Were you engaged during these sessions? Talk to me about what that looked like for you.
I mean, as far as engaged goes, I had a lot of distractions around me, especially in my household. So that was a struggle, and I forgot the rest of what I was going to say, but
yeah, no problem. No problem. Yeah, the struggle is definitely real. That is one thing that, my sister and other young, let's say, adults who are now in this limbo have said the same thing. Showing up and now having to learn over Zoom, they weren't able to, they didn't feel like they retained the information. Did you feel like when you were being taught something that you were able to oh, I get that, I understand that, and now if I were to ask you questions on that, would you be able to explain to me what you learned?
I gotta be honest, I didn't retain a lot of information. A lot of it I had to figure out for myself, and I had access to teachers, but they were dealing with a lot of other students too. And so I didn't want to take away from that too. So most of it, I just thank God for the internet, but I had to figure out for myself.
Yeah, absolutely. Putting myself back in my school days. Thank God for the internet is right. I don't know where I'd be without it, to be honest with you. So too funny. Now let's transition out of the education and into the athletics, right? So put your athlete hat on for a second. How has it been not being able to, say, practice consistently, train consistently, go out and run consistently? How has it been for you athletically?
It's been frustrating. It's a lot of times where I got mad at myself because I didn't have the motivation. Even though I was getting mad at myself, there were lots of days where I couldn't bring myself to work out, especially running. That takes a lot of mental strength for me. Training, I basically tried to do that every day. Now that school's over and it's summer, I'm definitely working out and a lot more and trying to live healthy and live clean.
Awesome. Yeah, awesome. Good. A lot of kids, a lot of student athletes in particular are struggling, not having the gym, or even soccer players not having the steady practices, being able to meet with your team twice per week. Let's touch a little bit on the team aspect of this. How has it been not being able to see your girls, see your teammates? Are you seeing your teammates outside of soccer, or have you not seen them in a little while?
I do this training at the gym with two of my teammates, but other than that, I haven't really had any connection with them other than the few practices that we've had. We definitely need to get back in sync and have a lot of catching up to do, especially skill wise and like oneness, thinking out there on the field. But yeah.
Absolutely. And how's that been on you? I mean, you have a big family, like we've mentioned, and if you're only seeing your sisters and those two teammates, has that affected you or impacted you mentally?
The gym thing's been good. Training with my sisters, training's training. Of course, you're going to gain from it. It's just not the same as playing with kids my age, though, because they're all younger than me, except for my one sister who's also on my team. So, yeah.
Makes perfect sense. And you have enough sisters to almost put a full team out there. So I completely get it. You want to get the diversity, have a little bit older kids your age. I completely understand. All right, let's shift gears a little bit, Noelle. Let's talk a little bit about the future. I know it's hard to think in the future because we don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. It is sort of such a fluid situation, but you are going into your sophomore year. What are your goals for the fall?
So I definitely want to have a season. That's not something that's really inside my control. So, me personally, I just have to get more mentally focused on improving and training. And like I said, going on runs, cardio is something I really want to work on. I definitely want to help motivate my teammates to feel the same way. So, yeah. Nice.
Very selfless thinking. I love that. Very similar to your dad in that regard. So kudos to you and kudos to the parenting. Let's talk about your education goals. You're a stellar student. What has your college plan? Do you have any aspirations to go play college sport like your dad?
Yeah, I would totally love that. It'd take a lot of financial pressure off my parents, especially with having us 5 girls and like all of us wanting to go to college. Definitely something that I want to strive for.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's another thing with this that we haven't even touched on is you're in high school soccer, right? Yeah. Were you were on the freshman JV team last year?
Yeah, I was on junior varsity last year. Really
perfect. So there was a good chance, it's a good chance you're going to work your way up. And now is there going to be season TBD? It's so up in the air. And, you need to get out in the field in order to have an opportunity to be scouted and be seen by the college coaches. So that is a whole other thing that we can, talk about on a different call. What is your dream school to go to? If you had a choice, if you could throw a dart and say, I want to go to this university, what would it be?
I would love to go to Duke University in North Carolina.
Hey.
Especially since they have a good psychology program, and that's something I'm really interested in. So, yeah.
Dukies, baby. I love it. I'm a diehard Duke fan. That's a great school of choice. No question about that. And you definitely are smart enough. That's for darn sure. All right, Noelle, would you like to leave our viewers with any last little bit of information, last little bit of anything to leave us with?
Nope, not that I can think of, but this has been great.
All right. All right. Once again, thank you so very much for your time. We are working tirelessly over here, both at the Unheard Digital Summit, as well as Two-Footed Solutions, to get you back out on the field. Keep your head held high, keep plugging away, and keep going.
All right. Thank you.
No problem. Have a great day. Thanks, Noelle. Excellent interview there with Noelle Mingo. Had to finish off the Unheard Digital Summit with the voice of the most unheard. And I would say the youth are the most unheard. So thank you, Noelle, for joining us. Great context to the overall discussion. This is the Unheard Digital Summit. I'm your host, My name is Austin Turner. I'm with Two Footed Solutions. It has been a pleasure. Thank you very much to all of our viewers who tuned in.